Okay. The Ankh, the symbol of everlasting life, is found where? Anybody know? In its natural form, where is this symbol found? Well, somewhere in that area, but specifically where? On the upper wall of the uterus of the female, tied in a knot. Natural symbol, again, nature producing, your ancestors discovering. When you close this structure, as the Ethiopian did, you have the cross. Okay. It is also the symbol of the planet Venus in astrological glyphics. This science, this knowledge that is written in nature is called now in this language symbology. I don't have the glyphs, I won't try to write it. The ancient word, but it can be found in Yosef Ben Yakanan's book, Africa, the Mother of Western Civilization, the hieroglyphic for sin, which is the drawing of the representation of an image on the ground. We recall those who heard the story from Reverend Biscuit. Jesus kneeled on the ground and drew, or Jesus kneeled and then drew on the ground, one or the other, as a symbolic representation of a particular art form. That's, in that little gesture is the whole meaning of the art and science of symbolism. Okay. How many numbers are there? Somebody help me. I can't hear you. You don't. I hear somebody. Oh no. Thank you. There are 9 numbers, and you do know that. You're just not paying attention to what you already know. How many books are there in the Old Testament? Excuse me, how many names are there of God in the Old Testament? Anybody, any biblical scholars here? I won't hesitate. There were 72 names. They took them all out and put Lord. In the Quran, how many names are there? In the Bhagavad Gita, how many names are there? What do those number of names have in common? 9. Thank you. Therefore, we have the key to the code of the scriptures that contain the knowledge of self throughout. In other words, the string that runs through the pearl of wisdom. Found beneath the belief systems and the different cultural names of the various god or gods. Each name representing an attribute or power or ability of divine nature, not of some one being. Whoever acquires these qualities, traits, becomes God, Almighty God, Great God. Okay. As we understand this concept, let me erase this here. I'm getting messy here. Law equals what? I should have wrote it the other way. These are synonyms. Law and Lord are one and the same. He who embodies the law becomes the Lord. Again, you become your own Lord not someone else's. Okay. How many planets are there in this solar system? Right? Well, they just found Vulcan, so they're expanding it. They are expanding it. Okay? We're talking about the system that keeps determining the order of things, mapped out by your ancestors. There are 14 constellations in our universe, but 12 are called out. There were 14 disciples for Jesus. One he fired and hired another one. That makes 14. But 12 are called out. Okay. All right. So we're seeing the mathematics of God. The mathematics of divine order is what we're talking about. Okay. There probably, theoretically, as mentioned by others who deal with this science, report that there are 12 planets in our solar system. But we're not being affected or influenced by them. And the one they're talking about on this devastating far end of our system is cold and icy. I don't know what the hell this is going to be doing. Vulcan, it's referred to as. There's also another one called Chiron that they have not, the astronomers have not acknowledged. Astronomy and astrology are not the same sciences. Okay? The astronomer is not interested in the intelligence of the planets, but in the position and size and speed and distance thereof, until it gets close to the atmosphere, and then they get scared. They could have called Hale-Bopp a planet, as big as that comet is. A tail span of over, what, 3 million damn miles. It's amazing. For a piece of rock flying through space. Okay, that's the part of the Codex Inscriptus that we're going to deal with at this point. We already know how many degrees in a circle, and of course, you sisters already know how many months it takes to give childbirth, right? So we understand this, again, this science of nature. Man does not determine 9 months, nature does. So man is simply following the edicts of nature, as nature has itself in divine order and stays in order.
Another brother that it's changed. It used to be 12. The cycle was 12 for...
Used to be 12 what?
12 months.
Well, I see, we can't vouch for that. That's an interesting theory, but Mama keeps doing it in 9.
Right.
Okay, so we have to go along with Mama. The hell with what the brother thinks. He ain't doing it. Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate your comment. Yeah. Well, it also used to be that the natural process was to keep producing twins. You know, in triplets and quadruplets. You know, that used to be the natural process. In fact, most of the sons of the old ones, Noah and Abraham and Jacob, produced twins. You know. But that seems to be...
People over in other countries still producing children, I mean women at age 60.
I don't know. That's a good question. I've heard of such. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. One of the things that the yogi mistresses refer to the problem of difficult menopause, or not menopause, menstruation, is the fact that women are eating meat.
Yes.
And that when they abstain from wheat, the headaches and the cramps and all the other stuff goes away, or depreciates to a tolerable level. So you ladies want to try that? Well, you know, whatever point you get to, at some point you get to a certain point, you just don't want any meat. Yeah, just don't. That's the best way to outgrow it rather than fighting it, you know. Okay, we're looking at the man, the grand man. Actually, we should be looking at the grand woman, because she is the one who produces the man. But we're looking at the physiology of human being from the male point or perspective in terms of what we are.